Hello and welcome back to Football Manager, and we have now reached the FA Trophy 4th round. Now unfortunately, despite the brilliant start that I've had at this club, including 7 wins on the bounce and a draw to start the season off with, so 8 unbeaten, we did lose our first league game with me in charge in a 2-0 defeat to Woking in the last game, which means we're on the back of a defeat going into this FA Trophy 4th round. Now, this could be a bad thing, of course. This could also be completely useless to determine if we're going to win or not. We beat Bromley last time away from home 2-0. That was not a bad result by any stretch. So we've got a good chance. As well as that, we've brought in a fair number of new players. Now, admittedly, none of them have scored, which is probably a bit of a worry, of course. But, wrong one, need transfer history. One of them is George Miller, who we've already brought in, but we're extending his loan offer to the end of the season if we are able to. We've brought in Jamie Stevens, a new goalkeeper. We've also brought in Matt Jones, another new goalkeeper. Jack Hobbs, a centre-back, who's currently playing in this game today. William Tomlinson is a central midfielder, who is also playing in this game today. Nathan Cameron is a centre-back who has played but isn't doing that well, I don't really think. And obviously George Miller. As well as that, we've also sold Sam Johnson to Doncaster for just shy of £4,500. So we've done well in the sales as well. Other than that, no big news needs to be mentioned. I don't think, at least. Of course, Guevara still top goal scorer. That is obviously good. So let's get into this game against Bromley and see what we can do, I think. So this is the team we're going to go with. We've got Matt Jones in goal. Actually, just thought, instead of doing it here, do it on the team sheet bit where I do it normally. So let's just submit that. Matt Jones getting his debut today, which is good, obviously. A few players out, a few players in, of course. Nothing to worry about. That's just because obviously the last game we played was a bit close to the previous one, so we just took a few players out for fitness reasons. Simply that's the only reason. So, in today's game, when it loads, we've got Bromley with Mark Cousins in goal, Jack Holland, their captain, with Byron Webster, Tom Allen, Gary Comerford, Ben Williamson, Mohamed Sagaf, Billy Bingham, Harry Forster, Michael Cheek, and James Alabi. With on the bench, we've got Tarek Najia, Dylan Hayes, Taylor Maloney, R. Racket Fairchild, and Luke Coulson. Whilst our side is Matt Jones, with captain Tyler Magloire, Jack Hobbs, Tom Bradbury, and Zumana Bakayogo. We've also got Guevara, Willem Tomlinson, Jack Earing, Danny Williams, Paris Magoma, and George Miller. On the bench we have Jeff King, Luke Summerfield, Nathan Clark, Ruben Reid, and Oddy Alpha. This is a strong team, I think. They're all at least 3-star players, with some of them even getting up to 4-star. So this is a very strong side. Now apparently, it goes back to it. Oh, that is unlucky for their opener. Tom Allen with an own goal for Bromley in the first 2 minutes. There's nothing worse for a defender than scoring an own goal off your own back because a player's tried to clear and it's hit you by accident or what have you. And yes, apparently, in the most recent hotfix, wrong one. I want Bromley stats. What's happened is they've actually made it so this stays out, which is brilliant news because it was so frustrating having to keep pulling it out every single time if I wanted to, or just letting it sit there and have a huge crater in the middle of the screen. Anyway, what a strike from Tom Bradbury there, making it 2-0 to Halifax. I have no words. That was one hell of a strike from outside the box. I was too busy talking about the UI that I missed it. Daniel Williams was a beautiful cross meeting Bradbury's left foot, and volleying it into the top corner past the waiting arms of Mark Cousins. With 25 minutes or so on the clock, Halifax lead 2-0 in this FA Trophy 4th round match. Now, To my knowledge, I don't believe FC Halifax have ever won the FA Trophy. Now I will look obviously after this, and I will probably show you at the same time, because I'll probably forget to stop recording mainly, but I think it's probably better if I showed you, just so I'm not, talking and then making a mistake and cutting it out, because no point. But I don't believe they've won the tournament. So, in theory at least, if I was to win the tournament with them, it would be a very big competition for them. And admittedly, I'm not agreeing with there's work to do, there's improvement I should say, but it could improve, of course. We are not playing as well as them. We are winning, of course, 2-0, no question, but of course some things do need to change to make the game fluider, and more fluid, I should say, not fluid, that's not really a word, is it? But more fluid, and so on and so forth. Right, 65th minute or so, Bingham crossed the inner corner, and James Alabi does score, meaning Bromley are only 2-1 behind now. And last time we were in the FA Trophy, we made it a very difficult match in which we went to penalties against Gloucester, which we did win, mind you. We won perfectly well with the team we had, but it was a difficult match. Now, Jones, with goal kicks, smashes it down the middle for Miller to chase. He does collect it, but the shot is poor. Ends up with a corner kick to Halifax. Williams swings the corner in, headed away by Holland, only as far as Hobbs, who gets the ball back out to Williams, who was in an offside position. Even I could see that. So, I make our first change for the match now, being Willem Tomlinson for Luke Summerfield. I almost said Jeff Summerfield. I was reading two names at once. Who'll be a Mazzala on a support role, just for safekeeping, to help out on the right. As well as that, we're going to bring off our left back, Zumana Bakayogo, for Danny Williams, and then off properly for Jeff King. And he'll be coming on as an inverted winger on support. And I think that will do for now. And Alabi now with the ball on the left wing for Bromley, but it goes out for a corner kick. 10 minutes left of the game to play, and no highlight for the corner. Brilliant news. With a little under 10 minutes probably left, including stoppage time, we lead 2-1. Corner kick from King, swings it into the far post, headed away by Bromley. Hackett Fairchild now with the ball, getting past the defenders to the edge of the box, shoots and scores. Matt Jones should have done a lot better than that, and he'll be berated for it, because he should have done a lot better in saving that shot than what he did. Rico Hackett Fairchild hits the ball at Matt Jones, and he just pushes it into the roof of the goal, leading to Bromley now equalising and sending this match into extra time. There's no question about it, it's extra time. Oh, actually, maybe not. Bingham with a corner kick headed away by Bradbury, only as far as Williamson. Williamson now looking to get crossed back in again, headed away. Guevara now to Miller. Miller looking to get the ball forward, does quite well, but the ball's lost, and the ball sent over the halfway line to Alabi, who shoots, but thankfully cannot shoot with his left foot, and the match ends. Now, extra time. I'm going to point my finger and say that we've got to win this match, because we do. Now, I'll make two more changes now, being Ruben Reid on for George Miller. He's not really played very well. He does deserve to come off, as well as Guevara off for Odi Alpha. So we have weakened the attacking form of the team, but it shouldn't be that much of a problem. We've got a lot more fresh strikers now. We have got the ability to push in to a defence that looks like it's tiring, so we could do well. Throw in for Bromley. Bingham now with the ball, plays it to Maloney. Maloney back to Bingham. Bingham looking up, finds Hackett Fairchild, crosses it in, and thankfully Matt Jones makes up for his earlier poor save by catching a very well struck defensive clearance against the defender. Odi Alpha now with the ball, trying to get a shot on goal, but instead Cousins takes it into his hands. Cousins, a long ball over the top, only met by the head of Bradbury. Bradbury to Magoma forward to Reed, Magoma again, now Summerfield to Reed, Reed to King to the edge of the box, shoots, but just wide. And the first half of extra time ends still 2-2. Now, second half. I'm going to do a shout of demand more just to try and get them buoyed to go forward. We still have all three of our attacking players on a very high level of condition. Magoma now back to the defender, out wide, and then now to Earring, out wide again to King now. King holding the ball up, looking for a cross to Alpha, who just sends the ball over the bar. And with just a couple of minutes left of extra time now, it's looking very likely to be penalties, and it is penalties. So, we've got Summerfield will be taking number 5 because of his composure. Actually, no. It will be Magoma taking number 5. So Summerfield there, Bradbury there, and then Magoma here. Following up with Jeff King, Tyler Magloire, Jack Earring, Jack Hobbs. Oddie Alpha will take the penalty before Matt Jones. No, Matt Jones will be taking the penalty after Oddie Alpha. There we go. And that will be that. I'm going to point my finger. Actually, no, I'm not going to point my finger. I'm going to pump fists, and we should be winning this penalty shootout. Jack Earring steps up. Not sure why he steps up. I did not choose him to take the first penalty. But he scored it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Hackett Fairchild now, the equaliser. Shoots at the far corner of the goal and does put it past Jones. Now, Ruben Reed stepping up. Will he score? He does. In the bottom right corner of the goal, Ruben Reed smashes it home. Now, Comerford for Bromley steps up. Shoots and scores in the same corner as Ruben Reed. Now, Danny Williams stepping up for our third penalty. He shoots and it goes down the middle, straight past the diving goalkeeper, and we lead 3-2 from the penalty shootout. Williamson steps up for Bromley and scores for Bromley. Summerfield now with the fourth penalty for Halifax steps up, shoots, and it is saved by the goalkeeper. Now Alabi for Bromley stepping up and shoots into the bottom left, and he scores into the bottom left. Now Bradbury stepping up to take the fifth and final penalty of the initial 5. Will he score and give us a chance at sudden death, or will he miss? He does score. He smashes it straight down the middle, and now Bromley must score to win the match. Hayes is going to step up for Bromley. If he misses, there is a chance at sudden death. If he scores, we lose. Dylan Hayes steps up and scores for Bromley. Halifax Town have been eliminated from the FA Trophy. And I'm going to thrash my arms and say that performance shows us much work to be done, because we should not have lost that game from a 2-0 lead. We should just not have. But, as a many manager has said before, 2 goals is a very dangerous lead. But we weren't the only ones to go behind and lose on penalties after leading. Stalybridge Celtic did the same thing. Okay, Kingsland did it as well. There. Actually, to be fair, only a couple options with it, but it's not the point. I mean, Darlington did well to pull it back, but even after going 3-1 up in extra time, lost on penalties after Torquay scored twice within 2 minutes, which probably is even worse of a kick in the teeth than our one, but yeah, okay, fair enough. And we did make our debut, and unfortunately, Jones was terrible in goal for that game. Which is, it's not great for the new goalkeeper to be, not great in goal, but yeah, it could be worse, of course. And Bradbury was superb with his shot on goal, his incredible ability, and it did work very well. Now, They did actually win the FA Trophy. I've been speaking rather ill of the side. They did manage to win it in 2016 when the side were in the National League. So they were at this level when they last won it, but they couldn't do it again this year because, well, we lost. So, unfortunate, of course. Now, 1 week today, obviously in game, not in real life, we're playing Sutton, which you'll see in 2 hours' time. So let's just try and get over the last 2 games and return to some normalcy and start winning matches again. So until next time, I bid thee adieu. Goodbye.